Merry Christmas and good morning, everybody. Brenda, AZ, Giggles is here. Frank Rizzo. Good morning to you all. I just got back from doing a shift and fed Mia her Christmas breakfast. And my little buddies, the squirrels, are out there. I'm going to throw them some more peanuts. Be right back.
Man, always an empty chair. Always. Good morning, everybody.
Just doing some peanut pitching, Santa. The squirrels were out there by the dozens.
Yeah, waiting for your Christmas presents.
Yep. And you know
Santa came
what?
last night.
A couple of them come right up within 2 feet of me and just beg for it, you know?
Yeah, Santa,
How'd you do?
Joe, Merry Christmas and shut up.
How did you do with the kids?
Well, I had one kid to worry about. I went over there last night and did her pictures and handed the big hit. The big hit is the dragon egg. She loved the dragon egg. And she's 2 years old. She kept unscrewing and screwing and playing with it. I gave her the Trumpinator bear. She put it there. She goes, no. And went
No,
back to,
no.
I said, no. I said, this is for you. I said, who is this? She looked at it, and my ex was laughing. She said, good. I'm glad. I said, y'all didn't watch. I said, who is that? She looked at it and went, Trump.
That's it.
And then she hugged it. And then she sat it on her lap hugging it. I said, defense rest, leave it alone. But Santa came last night and left me a note. He says, I heard you. I took your dogs. I'll take care of them. So I don't have to worry about them anymore.
What did the note say?
I heard you. I heard all the problems you're having, and I went ahead and took your dogs, and I'll give them to a good home. So all my dogs are gone.
They are gone?
No.
I was gonna be very disappointed in you, Joe.
No. They all got their Christmas present this morning. They got 2 bacon treats wrapped up in a little piece of paper. And I said, it's Christmas morning. I said that, and it was spinning around jumping. And I said, let's go see if Santa left you something. Went over there and got the 3 little Merry Christmas there, Lance, and happy birthday. Lance's birthday today. So they got those 3 little packages and sat there ripping them apart, getting their bacon treats. Mint Rails, Russell. Lance, tomorrow you have got to see this video I'm put out. It'll be tomorrow with that water tower that Johnny and I went and flew. I used all my Part 107 certification skills. That the tip of the crane coming out of the water tower was 300, I think 328 feet. I took every bit of my 400 above it. I was at 728 feet. And it looked cool. Yeah, I looked at it last night a couple of times, and I was trying to make it because there's a lot of equipment out there that is like looks like it's abandoned. Because I think they've got a lawsuit where they can't build right now. I think that's the reason that everything's shut down. And the water tower is partially made, but it's got about, if you look at the ladder on the inside, it's probably about a 12-foot ladder or a 10-foot ladder. And just to the base of the water tower is 240 feet to the base of where the bell starts. But I wanted to make it look like let's see how I wanted to do it. I wanted to make it look like suspenseful when you do it. And it's about, I think it's like 40 seconds into it before you even see the water tower. And that's when the music starts to crescendo and everything else. But Johnny was standing next to me, and I said, how's this look? And he looked down at the thing and said, how high are you? I said, 738. He goes, what? You what? I said, 400 above it. G Airspace, it handled it well. I figured there was nobody there. At the very least, if something happened to the drone, it was going to fall into the water tower. Mavic 3. But that's the highest I've been. Prior to that, I was 5-something over the water tower by Christmas lights. I think it was 560.
Well, I posted that ship video last night.
I saw that.
What'd you think?
It don't look bad. It really don't look bad. It's just, you said everything on automatic, right? Everything
Yep.
automatic. And you don't have any filters on it, do you?
Nope.
Okay, and then your EV mode on there, you leave at 0.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're automatic. So, the only time you're going to have a lot of problems is if you got a little haze in the air. If you got a crisp night, it ought to be beautiful. Depends on the ship too. If the ship's really a dark ship, that's going to give you issues. That's the new pill the doctor gave me right here. Look how big this sucker is.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've had a few of those pills too.
It's ranolazine or something like this. Ranolazine. Yeah, it's a ranolazine. It's not a nitro base. It might be a nitro base, but it's a bronchial dilator, and it's extended. Stop. Oh, Santa should have took you last night. But it's a bronchial dilator to keep the air flowing. And he was giving me 500 milligrams, and I was taking them at night. And he told me, you still having problems breathing? I said, yeah, a little bit. He goes, okay. He gave me 1,000 milligrams, doubled it, twice a day. So I'm 4 times the dose now. I haven't taken it yet because I read the side effects this morning. So I'm not taking it right now. I'll take it tonight or tomorrow. but I'll take it when I'm going to bed to see how it reacts. Because one of it could be lightheadedness, which that I'm not as worried. That's the only one I'm really worried about. But it was that or headaches. So I'd rather take it tonight to see if it's going to give me a headache. But I'm not going to do it before I go places. I've had a headache for 3 days now because of these sinuses. I figured if Dre showed up today, I'd wear a tie.
I would imagine Dre's got his hands full. It's 3 hours difference. It's 6:15 out there, so it's really Christmas morning.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny was up. Johnny had a show this morning, and I got up. He's got the. I don't think he does this. He only can get 6 on his panel now, and he had 6 on, so I didn't try. I got up. He was already into it about an hour. I didn't. I thought if he was going on, it wasn't going on until about 7 o'clock. See, Dre's up. Dre's lurking. Yeah, I gotta look a little bit look good, you know. Yeah, when I saw this, when I was buying those Temu shirts, I saw this one. I said, "Yeah, I thought of Dre."
You thought of Dre, huh?
Yeah, I thought of Dre. I said, "Well, if I wear this, it look at least."
You know, what would it be nice? It'd be like have a little monogram right there that says "Dress for Success."
Yeah, Ken, that's cool. Up in the mountains, yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, but that was a kick yesterday because I've shot actually the water tower that Johnny found one time that I ran out and shot. I went 400 above that one, and I think that was like somewhere in the neighborhood of 580. I think that was 580 feet. You know, because it was a 180-foot water tower. But this sucker, like I said, we looked at this tower because they had that no trespassing sign. Everything was locked up. And I looked at Johnny and he said, "How far you think it is?" I said, "Man, that thing got like 1,000 feet away." He said, "Yeah, it doesn't look that far. It's not as far as the lighthouse." I said, "No, it's nowhere close." That sucker was 2,500 feet away. That's how big that thing was. We could not figure that one out. That's how big it was. I'd like to see how big it is next to it. Probably huge. Well, give you an example. They had a crane on the ground next to it, and I didn't even notice it. Like a excavator type of crane type of thing.
Yeah, I saw it in the video.
Yeah, I mean, and that was by the water tower, and it looked like a little bitty toy.
Oh, it was a little support item. Hey, Dre, good morning and Merry Christmas to you too. And Brenda is having a Christmas down in Florida.
Yep. Yeah, I got to go to my brother's about noon. Done with the granddaughter last night, so I don't have to go back there. They're on their way to Baton Rouge. That's the X's side of the family.
Well, I may be coming and going a little bit this morning myself because I took my clear out pills earlier this morning.
So you giving yourself a Christmas present?
Yep. Because Mia's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow she goes to the vet at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get a nail trim plus a check over. Check her out. Oh, I didn't do the link thing. Hang on a minute. There you go. Hey, Dre.
Dre.
Well, good
What's up,
morning.
Dre?
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Sorry about that, Dre.
Oh, nothing to apologize for. Like I said, I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't trying to get on.
Well, it's usually I do it right away, and
Yeah.
today being Christmas morning, not necessarily Christmas for me, but between taking care of my little four-legged creatures,
Mm-hmm.
and I went and flew a ship, and I came back, and
Okay. Yeah, like I say, that's why I did. I scrolled to the top of the chat, box, and I didn't see it there. And I'm like, okay, did I miss it somewhere? And I like, no, it's not in here.
that's because of dumb me.
We just contribute to age, Paul, like all of us.
Oh yeah, I notice that more and more every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting at the game the other night, the basketball game, and they got two girls that play that are sisters, and both of them are named after cities, right? So I remembered London, and I'm sitting there, and the other one shoots the thing and wasn't even close. And one of the refs said something to me, and I'm sitting there, and he goes, "What?" I said, "I have no clue what her name is. I can't. It's not even there.
This blank, huh?
It went blank." I said, "Her
Yeah.
sister's London." I said, "She's named after a city." Like this. I'm sitting there, and for 5 minutes, kept thinking about that till I remembered Brooklyn.
Mm. Mm.
I had to go down the list of names I knew.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I was just thinking about a coworker who retired a little over a year ago. I know her face. I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Can't think of that woman's name.
Well, that's the one thing I'm really bad with names anyway.
Yeah, same here.
That's what makes it worse.
Mhm. Yeah, if I don't see you almost like on a regular basis, I'll forget your name real quick.
Yeah, I look at my kids and say, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
I told Paul, I said, "Santa came last night, left me no news. I heard all your complaints. I'll give you dogs the good family."
I had to go chase Mia down.
My dogs knew it was Christmas Day. So I wrapped them up a little bacon treat. It's 2 bacon treats, and I do it every year.
Yeah.
So I wrapped them up in the package, and I stuck them on the counter, and they saw me wrapping them, and they could smell them. They knew it was bacon.
Right. Yeah.
So I woke up, I said, "Tomorrow's Christmas. Santa Claus might come." I went to bed, I got this morning, they're all sitting by the bed like that. And I said, "It's Christmas." Mother, they're spinning around and everything. I said, "Let's go see y'all got a present." So y'all come running in. I said, "Look, you got presents." And I picked them up, and it's just little bitty things, right?
Right. Yeah.
Picked them up. I had one looking one way, one looking the other way, and one on the floor. And all you could hear was paper ripping. They ripped all the paper, came over to me to let me know that they ate it, left the paper right where it was.
Oh, of course.
So they got their Christmas.
So is Mia being antisocial this morning, Paul?
Oh, she I don't want it to sound bad, but she acts like a typical
Bitch.
housewife. It's like no matter what I say, she wants to do the opposite. It's like
she acting like Laura.
Yeah.
Laura came on and said, "Merry Christmas, Joe," and shut up.
I mean, I love her to death, but she just she'll stand there at the bottom of the stairs in the snow and look at me, and I say, "Get in here." No. So I got to go down and pretend to put the leash on her, and then she comes right in.
So
it's a game. It's a game.
So did you hear what my granddaughter did me last night, Dre?
No,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you how the things go.
Well, I went over there and I gave it I put a Trump ornament on their tree and they just looked at me.
Hmm.
And I said, that's going to bring your tree to a higher level. Like that. And she said, well, and my ex looked at me and said, well, you know where it's going to go when you leave. I said, on the tree, leave it on the tree.
Yeah.
And then I handed her my daughter gave it, my granddaughter, the Dragon Ball. That was the
Hmm.
hit. She
Oh,
loved it, right? She
yeah.
loved it. And so she handed her the Trumpinator bear. And
Hmm.
she looked at you and went, no, like this. And everybody started laughing. So she don't want it. I said, no, you got to enthuse with the Dragon Ball. I said,
Hmm.
look at that bear. Hold, give me that. So she gave it to me. She looked at the bear. I said, who is that? She looked at it and she went, Trump. Like that. So that got to dig in. And then she
Hmm.
hugged it, kissed it, and sat it on her lap.
Oh boy.
And I said, defense rest.
Mm-hmm.
So how did your daughter react at the end?
They just laughed. That's all they were doing, laughing.
Yeah.
But then she started trying to take all the clothes off of it and all the stuff off of it. And
Of
it's all
course.
sewn on, right?
Mm.
So I said, I need you to just take it. They got a shelf where they put a lot of stuff in the room. Like that. I said, just stick it up on her shelf for a while.
Hmm.
Till she realized she can't take everything apart.
Right.
But I went over and took her a baby picture last night.
Mm.
And that was fun. That was a fun night.
Mm.
The one thing I hate taking is baby pictures.
Well, as long as you don't pull a Rodney Dangerfield, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Remember that movie, Easy Money?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do.
He's taking picture of that one kid. He's on like a little rocking horse, and he calls the kid a little fat bastard. Said, "Be still, you little fat bastard."
Yeah, I remember that now.
I was
Yeah, I
like,
do
oh
remember that.
man. I was like, oh man.
Hey, Lance, good morning. How you doing? I suppose he's busy with Christmas morning.
Who's that, Lance?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just him, the wife, and the daughter. That's all. He's all right. He's already
Curtis,
been up.
good
He's already
morning.
been up 2 or 3 hours.
Curtis Dart says good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning, Curtis.
Here you go. That was one of them I shot last night.
Oh, that's a nice shot. The tree in
That's
the
a nice
background
pic.
like that. Yeah.
And she got all the lights in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a hard shot. Oh, that was hard to do last night.
Mm.
I had to look at the difference in the colors, how
That,
subtle.
that's what I'm saying. It's just a nice blended, but things do pop out.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then my daughter got to tell me, are you going to have them finished tonight? And I took 175 freaking pictures for 40.
Oh wow.
You know, because I'm sitting there and I don't do bursts. I can't stand doing bursts
Right.
because I know enough and I've done enough that I don't need bursts. Last
Mm-hmm.
night I got that sucker down by my knee and she's doing something. I'm going, I said, I ain't taking the chance because I ain't coming back. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one I like the most right there.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Very nice.
And then the baby daddy, the boyfriend, he takes it and he says, well, I look retarded. I said, well, it's not my fault.
He said, yeah, go talk to your mom and daddy about that.
That's not my fault the way you look. I'll show you the picture.
Oh man.
I said, I always look retarded in pictures. I said, it's not my fault. I said, if you're saying you look that way, change it, you know? Let's
Oh
see.
boy.
See, that was their picture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know, he said, I look stupid. I said, again, you say you're looking stupid, so fix it. I said, my camera takes exactly what it sees. Yeah, I used to do that.
Remember, stupid is, right?
Remember when I was in Hawaii, I shot for Gypsy Norton, Barbara Zahn, and Inter Island modeling agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And these girls would say, oh, you gonna make me look like this? I'm gonna say, I'll make you look exactly like you are, baby. You know? But I'd have the girl would tell me, I can't take good pictures. I said, well, don't worry about it. I will. I'll take them.
Mm,
You just stand there.
yeah.
Because that's always, I don't take good pictures. No,
Yeah.
you don't think you're good in pictures, but let me take the pictures. You just let me work. And
Mhm.
and the girls right now, when I do basketball, they always got to do that little going with the wind pose and shit.
Mm.
They got to get that
Yeah.
neck to the
Yeah.
side, trying all this
Mhm.
stuff. And they'll get up there and they'll pose, and I'll look at them and say, okay, don't move, just tilt your head directly towards me. What? Just turn your head there, right there, pop, and shoot the picture. And one girl said, I don't like that though. I said, okay, do your pose. I shot the pose. Then I said, now let's look at this picture. She said, yeah, I like that. I said, now look at my picture. Oh, I like that one better.
Mm.
I said, okay, go away. But I had one teacher do me that at West Jefferson High School. We were shooting the pictures, and she sat on the thing, and it was so specific for the yearbook. We actually had a mat in the camera that you had to have. It was like a little oval shape, and you had to have the top of the head and the chin in that one area.
Mm.
Because they all had to be the same size. You
Right.
couldn't mess that up for the yearbook, right? She gets there like this, and she goes, I said, ma'am, you got to
Which,
turn straight. I want
I
my
said,
picture like this.
but turn it straight and put your chin down, huh?
But she did this. I said, you got to turn and look directly at me. She goes, no, I want my picture like this. I went, there.
Mm, mm,
And boy,
mm.
I tell you what, I bet you got to chew for that. I wasn't going to fight with her.
Yeah.
I
My
think I actually
shot
said, if you
last
want
night.
to look goofy, okay.
Mm.
Morning, gents. Here's
Hey,
my
Morning.
shot
Good
last night.
morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Lance.
today's
Thank
your
you.
birthday?
It is. It is. I looked up in the sky last night driving home, and look what I found. That was kind of cool.
Mm.
That looks like a UFO,
Yeah.
another drone. Now, you see, this don't make sense. How can NORAD track Santa every year, but they can't track these drones?
I can say I don't buy into the excuse that when they say they can't track stuff. I know they can track it. We all
Oh,
know
we
they
know
can
that.
track it and stuff. It's just like, the average knucklehead wants to jump
Yeah.
on the bandwagon that, oh, they didn't say they could track it, so I assume they can't track it.
Yep. Like I said, my son last week when I was talking to him, I said, how much of that can you tell me? He said, about what? I said, about the drones. You go, nothing. Nothing. I said, well, do you know anything about it? That's all I want to know. He said, I may. Like that. And I
Mhm.
said, okay. I said, I did see an osprey going across the sky. Was that right? He said, yeah, he did. Like that. I said, okay. And
Mhm.
then I said to him, I said, so is there something to worry about? He said, not yet. Like that. Not yet. Like this.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll quit bugging you. He says, yeah, I just came back from a classified meeting.
Mhm.
He said, I can't tell you nothing. He said, I
Yeah.
will one day.
Yeah,
He
but
said, one.
like I said on the Herman's and Lawrence's show last night, I said this is just enough information for a lot of local agencies and elected officials to get a TFR put on their facility because they've probably
Mhm.
been begging the FAA to give them a regular restricted airspace and probably been turned down in the past. So now they're using this as an excuse that this is
Yep.
why we need to have some kind of protection because of our local power grid, our local water station, and then whatever else and stuff. And like I said, because most all these little TFRs that got in place are over so-called infrastructure facilities that were never qualified in the past to be restricted airspace. So I say it doesn't make any sense at all that you have, these 24 or so odd TFRs in place. I mean, you're going to continually renew them.
Yep.
What's going to be the final decision? As I say, most of them expire by the second or third week of January.
Right.
You know,
Here's the Dragon Ball. That's the hit of the place right there.
Oh yeah, I like
Nice.
that shot, man. I like that shot. The tree in the background, and even I guess this the pajamas. Those that little bit of pink in the pajamas she has on, and
Yeah.
trees. It is everything kind of like it almost like you staged it. That's what I'm saying. It looks staged.
Yep. It's all offset.
Mm-hmm.
And the hardest part was when I did all the coloring. I had to go back and ask. I said, that tree did have purple, green, and gold, right? Like that, you know?
Yeah,
Like to see that? But the
yeah,
hardest part was getting the right color here.
yeah.
Because I actually had to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, that is a great shot. Another great shot, I should say. That's
But
catalog
I gave
material
her
right there.
that's her Christmas present. Then she just tell me what she wants from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you show
And
that.
she
You
came
show
back,
that.
I love them.
Like I said, if we still had catalogs that we back in our day and stuff, man, that'd be like, oh yeah, Sears, J.C. Penney's, Montgomery Ward, Spiegel, all them catalogs want the shot like that.
Oh yeah. Let me show you.
Spiegel.
This is the
Boy,
shot
I
she
haven't heard
wanted.
Spiegel in forever, Draymond.
Yeah, I know.
Or Montgomery Ward, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I
Montgomery
said,
Ward, yep.
yeah, I remember all those catalogs: J.C. Penney's, Sears
They used to call it
catalog.
monkey wards.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the old Spiegel one with all the women's clothes and stuff in it. I'm like, yeah.
But us guys, we would do the Whitley with the what was the car one that I want to say
Oh
Steven.
yeah, yeah. Whitney. Yeah, what they
Yeah,
call the car products in it and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
out of Chicago. Boy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the only shot that was really pushed to be staged. This is the one my daughter wanted.
You know what? That's not a bad shot. It almost looks animated just by
So you
looking
got
at
a
first.
little right here.
Mm-hmm, the reflection off of her face almost look like she's a anime. You
Right.
know, that's
I got a
that's what I
little
said.
motion because she was taking it out and I was at a slow shutter speed.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
But that's
motion here stopped.
yeah. But I can say it's just I look at everything from the background back forward, and I see how the background there, you almost got a 3D effect because of the focal point of the lens you're using and where you
Right.
focus it in, and the reflection of the lights in the box on her face. I can say that's another good shot, man. And like I said, I look at the clarity of that present off of her left hip back there
Yeah.
still. That's clear. That's crystal clear right there. That's what I said. That's a good shot.
And what I
That's
plan on doing, you see where the plug's at back here?
yeah. Take that out.
That Christmas tree is gonna be all the way over to here.
Okay, you're gonna move the
I'm
tree
gonna
over.
blend in all that over to here. And
Yeah,
then they got my daughter's hand right here has got to get out of here.
yeah,
So I'll
Yeah.
get that out of there before we print them.
yeah.
I'll just take this whole section right here and do a
Mhm.
fill and pull
Mhm.
all of this over. So that'll
Yeah.
all be background other than the presents. And
Right.
then this, but the motion right here, what she was doing, she wasn't just taking them out of the box. She was yanking them out the box.
Mhm.
You know, if she was just taking them out the box, I would have had enough freeze in it.
Right.
But because I was able to get this sharp right here,
Right.
that saved it. Because you can even see the earring.
That's what I'm
Earring's
saying. I mean,
clear.
it's enough clarity in that. There's enough clarity in that. That's another great shot, Joe. That
Thank
is a
you.
great shot.
That's the shots that they'll look back when I'm not around. You know,
Mhm.
and she's got them.
Good morning, Dusty. Merry Christmas.
Jim, what's up? Merry Christmas also. Jonathan Jackson, Merry
Good morning.
Christmas.
Good morning, Jonathan. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, he's up there. He's celebrating Christmas and planning his wedding.
And Justin's still working on his mother-in-law's car, huh?
Yeah. And Neo's still trash.
And they say that all those three statements, which one is actually true?
I know one of them that's maybe I know which one. And Paul's going to stop eating Boston cream donuts next year.
We know that's a falsehood.
Well, that's my medication. I have to take it. The doctor says make sure you
What's
get
up,
your
Shaq?
Boston
Merry
cream.
Christmas.
Mhm.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Phil. Yeah.
Right,
He
Joe?
eats the Boston cream to keep his doctor in business.
Yeah. Now, Joe, I saw you holding up that pill earlier. Is that supposed to be a suppository or what?
Shoot, it looked like it's a horse pill, don't it? Look at this sucker.
That sucker is used, dude. I'm like, who you plan on giving that to? Because I'm not gonna take it.
I don't know if I can even swallow this on, bitch.
I'm like, man.
Morning, Philip. Happy Merry Christmas.
Merry
I was going to
Christmas.
say something, but it's Christmas morning. That would not be appropriate today. I can't say that.
Oh man.
I'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll bring it up.
Mhm.
I tell you what, to swallow something that big.
Yeah, I've only heard that's a day away. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm thinking about going to lay back down and take a nap.
Well, that's what usually happens on Christmas. You get up too early, and all a little excitement if you got the kids or grandkids around, and everybody crashes out about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and wake back up around 11 and get the rest of the food prep and ready to eat.
And go back to sleep.
Go
Yeah.
back. Yeah, no, like my dad used to do. He'd lay on the floor and he'd fall asleep during something. He'd change the channel. He goes, "I was watching that."
Yeah.
No, you were snoring.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad had a recliner. He'd sit in and he'd watch TV. And he'd go in there in the middle of he'd go there at nighttime, start watching all the Honeymooners and all the old shows that came on after 10 o'clock. And he'd fall asleep all the time, fall asleep. And so my mom would walk up in the front and turn the TV off and just leave him there like that. And he'd get up and go back to bed after a while, right? So she went up there one night and walked in there and looked at him. And he was kicking back with his mouth open. And she looked over at him and she goes, "He don't look right." Went over there and she said she actually went in the back and got a little mirror, came back and checked, and he wasn't breathing. Didn't look like he was breathing, right? So she looked at him. She goes, "Oh, damn." Like they figured he died. So she went and got a sheet and covered him up and went back to bed.
So she didn't tell the paramedics?
No, she covered him up and went back to bed.
Mm,
And he woke up about an hour later hollering, "Son of a bitch, what the hell is this?"
That's
Went
funny.
back. She goes, "Well, I thought you were dead. I just covered you up." He said, "You're a crazy bitch." Just covered him up.
Well, she
Wow.
probably woke up next morning and said, "Oh, damn."
She probably said, "Oh, damn," when he walked in the room.
Yeah. So where
Night
my
of the
Mom used to
Walking
sit
Dead.
there. And my mom used to sit at the table with her cup of tea, and her foot would start kind of shaking because she was plotting something all the time. Always something she was plotting, trying to think.
Oh man. Ooh.
She had full false dentures, right? And she smoked. And when we were growing up, I was probably 18 at the time. I put all the Mardi Gras beads hanging where you had to like hang to go through into my bedroom like a bead thing. I had the black light going. I had the Inagata Davida going and everything in the room. And she comes in the room one time and I'm sitting there with my brother and Ronnie, a friend of ours, and we're listening to music. And she comes walking in with this black light and she smiles at us. And the teeth had a chalk purple white to it. Her skin made her look like she was dead. It was gray and crazy. She looked like a demon. And when she looked at us and smiled, we said, "Oh, hell no." My brother hit the light. He said, "Oh, hell no." Ronnie was coming out the bed and hit the light. And she says, "What?" He said, "Don't you ever come in here with the black light on again."
That is funny.
Because she looked normal. It's like you see that face, and then when you hit the light, everything's perfect, you know? But just the reaction to all the problems, the chemicals, from the smoking and everything. Oh no.
Mhm.
We
Scary
came home.
face, scary face.
We came home Friday night from a friend's house, and mother-in-law was sitting on the couch, and both of her eyes were just solid black right in here, and I was like, oh no. And Angie goes, Mom, you need to clean your makeup off. It just, all the black just ran right down in here.
Mm.
And I was like, thank God it's just makeup.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody in the chat. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, right. Good morning, Mark. Merry Christmas over there in the UK.
I like your
See,
tree
Laura's-
there. Joe, I like your tree.
Yeah, that's just something off the internet. Yeah, I was gonna I got a picture of mine. I was too lazy to take all the trash out around it and put it in. May do that for next year.
So what did Johnny have going on this morning?
Johnny got about 90 grandkids. Yeah.
Is that right? Is that
Yeah.
why he's up so
He's
early?
got, I think, 6 or 7.
Yeah, he does. They're all singing. They're all singing carols right now.
If they're singing anything like
Are
birthday,
they
I don't want to
still
be there.
on?
No, he's off.
He's not on.
He's off.
Yeah, he
Oh,
went
I-
straight over to the house next. He lives right within walking distance, like 20 feet from the other house. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, because that's the new property they built. His daughter's house is here, and his house, they got the garage in his house.
Mm-hmm.
They figured we might as well get it set up now in his old age. You know.
Yeah. No, I just wonder. I know he was on last night. Then he's on again this morning. Like, okay.
I thought
Yeah,
about
he's,
doing one.
he's been a busy little boy.
I mean, I'm more like a boy, more like a bored little boy.
Yeah, he was bored. I knew he was. We went flying yesterday with Angel and his dad and his son.
Yeah.
And then we ran over to that construction site. Like I said, you're talking about distances. Like I was saying this morning, we looked at that. They had a big, as soon as she got into the road, big, everything blocked off, no trespassing, right? So we already knew that because I know it's shut down. And I said, I pulled in there and he pulls in, he says, what do you think? I said, I'm gonna fly from here. Because we were still on the other side of the fence by the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good. I can fly from here. And he looks, when we're standing out there looking at it, and he looks at this tower and he said, that doesn't look as far as the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is 2,000 feet. And I said, no, it looks about 1,000. He goes, yeah. It was 2547.
Wow.
That's how, and that's just because how big the thing was.
Right. That's just what I tell you, because how big it is, it doesn't look, the distance doesn't look as far.
Yeah.
It's bigger.
And
The
he
tip
flew
of
over
it.
top of it.
Yeah, the tip of it was where the crane was at the very tip at the top. It was 328 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it was so big. They got an excavator down near the bottom. I didn't even realize it until I looked at the picture again.
Right.
It looked like a little toy.
Mm-hmm.
And inside they got ladders that are probably 10-foot ladders, and they look like they're this big.
Right. Yeah.
They look like that pill, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, God darn it. And Johnny says, I said, yeah, I'm going to fly above it. Where you at? He said, I'm on my way back. So when he was flying above it, I was bringing it around the road and around all the construction equipment abandoned and all that. And about 40 seconds into it, it turns where the music gets into that ominous crescendo. And then you see the water tower. And that's the title of it. Construction's halted at the water tower.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. As it turns around, that's when you see it, right? So by the time I get to it and the music's starting to build up, I'm actually looking at it and I'm just rising up to the top real slow. And I get there and he said, I said, yeah, I'm getting ready to fly above it like that. And I said, how's this looking? He looks at it and he goes, well, how high are you? Like this. I said, it's 338. I'm 738. You know,
Mm.
I said, I'm exactly 400 above it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I think that looks cool. I mean, because as big as it was a little bit thin from way up
Right.
there.
Right. Yeah.
I used every bit of that 107 on that one.
There you go. There you go.
But the video, and I tried to, I mean, I let the video run a lot, where I usually cut 15, 20-second clips, but I let it run a little bit and just, I wanted to see what would look better
Mm-hmm.
instead of trying to do it myself. And then I went back and cut it down, and I could not get it cut any less than, I think it's 5:45.
Mm.
But the music is 5:52 or something like this.
Right.
That's what I made sure I had a long enough soundtrack. I
Mm-hmm.
figured it's gonna be somewhere in the 5-minute range,
Okay.
but it just keeps building up, building up, building up.
Mm.
But it came out pretty good. I like. It's long, but it's nice.
Yeah. Well there, Mr. Mark. How was the weather there in the UK? I want to say Great Britain so bad, but I know David gets offended when I use the term Great Britain.
Oh, he's not here. Great Britain.
Just GB. GB.
It's actually been a nice Christmas day. It's been 10 degrees and sunny.
Oh boy.
And Justin's in. Merry
Y'all
Christmas,
better-
Justin.
Y'all better circle the calendar on that one.
Yeah. It'll be
John,
dark,
hey,
it'll be
good
dark
morning.
in an hour.
I'm surprised Justin is up this early. I thought he might just went to bed an hour ago or something.
No, I've been up.
Well, I thought you was playing Fortnite all night.
Merry Christmas, friends.
I was.
I
Yeah.
went to bed pretty early last night.
You sound pretty rough there, Justin.
sound pretty rough. So fine.
Well,
Yeah,
at least,
you know, Mike.
at least he said you only sound kind of rough. We know what you look like. And Merry Christmas too.
Yeah. And oh, by
Yeah,
the way,
thanks.
Merry Christmas. Mm.
Hey, Rob, I'm speaking to you.
Won't be a minute.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sarah.
All right, I gotta go make breakfast.
Sarah Smile.
Why are you making breakfast? Make him cook breakfast.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
She's seen him cook
be
before.
doing breakfast.
Well, listen, he makes really good breakfast burritos, but that's not what we
I
have.
was going to say Sarah wants something besides burritos for breakfast.
And then I gotta start on my banana pudding and my cranberry cake.
Ooh, girl, you said the
I'll be
magic
there in
word
about an
right
hour.
there.
Yeah.
Wait,
Sarah.
wait. I recall ordering one of those last year.
Well,
Sarah-
the order must have got lost in the mail.
Sarah, he was on
Yeah,
here
we
the
know
other
what the
day
mail
talking
does.
about how he makes the bread pudding and he makes all that stuff.
Justin don't make the banana pudding. He wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, hey,
He don't
just
even know how to
skip
cut the banana.
Skip the breakfast, bring me the pudding.
He wouldn't even put the I'm coming. Give me the he wouldn't even put the sweetened condensed milk in it. He would just make the pudding and then
Mhm.
he doesn't add all that goodness. He wouldn't do the cream cheese.
Well,
or
y'all just catch what she said. All that goodness. That's that
Yeah.
love. That's that
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that
Sarah,
Sarah,
love.
you put,
The
you
correct
put the
way-
love into the pudding.
Yes,
That's
so
what
the
I
correct way to make it would be softened cream cheese, sweetened condensed milk. You beat that together, then you make your pudding, you beat that together, and then you add Cool Whip and you mix all that together, and then you let it sit in the refrigerator to get a little hard, and then you make the banana pudding.
Ah,
It's
Well,
Well,
cool
Sarah, I got
whip.
one question.
Cool
Who
whip.
eats
Yes,
the most of it?
My stepdad does.
Oh, I was about to say, because if Justin does, it might be because y'all got a good insurance policy.
All right, well, you gentlemen have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Same to you
And
too,
Sarah.
Sarah.
don't
Stop
forget
in
my-
anytime.
Don't forget my birthday's in 10 days, so the coffee can come, please.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah.
What?
Justin, you on yet?
What?
Now I understand why you like Laura so much. Sarah and Laura's voice almost sound like they could be sisters.
Except for the accent.
Yeah.
I mean,
he said
Sarah's
funny.
got a little bit of British accent in her tone this morning. I'm like,
Well, he's used
no,
to hearing "Shut up, Justin."
no. I was gonna say, no wonder he obeys Laura so easily. He sounded like his wife is talking to him.
Justin, does Sarah ever tell you to shut up, Justin?
On a daily basis, yes. I'll walk up to her and she'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to hear none of your bullshit."
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So how's Miss Sarah been doing since her last episode of well, how I put this properly? Justin illness? Is that the new
Yeah.
term for it?
She's been doing good.
Good.
Hospitalization.
Well, apparently it adjusted the meds right.
Well, she went and saw a specialist the day after too in Tampa. After the day after
Okay.
she got out, so
Mm-hmm. That's
the
good.
lady got her all right on her meds and all that. And she has to go back for a follow up in like a month or so. There's she wants to look. She said if her levels don't stabilize by her next appointment, she's having them take it out.
Mm.
She said she's not screwing around with it. She's going to have them rip it out. So.
And you'll be taking that little purple pill.
Yep, she'll have to take that pill for the rest of her life to make up for the missing thyroid. It's crazy how that stupid little thing, dude,
Now,
causes so many fucking problems.
What does your thyroid do on a daily basis? I'm not up to speed on that.
I'd have to read it too.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I know it causes a lot of problems. It can cause problems with you can either lose a lot of weight or you can gain weight.
Well, I was thinking more like, what does it do in the process of your body? Like you said, if she takes it out,
makes
she
your
has to
heart.
take another pill.
It will make your heart rate go skyrocket to the point where your heart gets tired and you'll start getting chest pains, and it could cause heart failure.
Oh, okay.
And then, like I said, it screws with your mood. It screws with your weight. Like it screws with a whole bunch of different things.
It releases the hormones in the woman's body to control their metabolism.
Okay.
Not only that is the medication that they'll put you on if you have an overactive will make you super emotional because
you
your
really need that
hormones are all that.
No,
it works. Trust me. But yeah, it's and then like I said, it makes you tired. It makes it does a whole bunch of stupid shit to you. But it's just a little thing in your neck.
Yeah. If I had a wife that took the medication and it made her super sensitive, I'd say take it out, give it a pill, regular pill. Boy, that could be a mess.
Like the one that Sarah was on, it made her cry a lot. Like everything would just make her cry.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
She saw a little puppy video and she'd just be on the floor bawling.
Yeah, emotional. Yeah, my wife was taking a pill like that and she ended up quitting because she says I'm just everything I cry at.
Right.
Sarah would walk in the room and see Justin and start crying, but it wasn't a pill.
Yeah.
Man.
Merry Christmas, Justin.
Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas. I'm gonna head on for a little bit, go lay back down for a little bit and take me a nap. So my son is like 33 years old. He's coming over later on this afternoon. My stepson and his wife just left for Troy, Alabama for her side of the family. We went over to my wife's uncle's house. I guess you call him uncle-in-law. But we went over there for steaks last night, and then we're having today for dinner. We're having salmon and broccoli, and so we're.
God, I guess the older you get, the earlier the naps get. Huh?
You just
it's only 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife, she's not feeling too good. She had a temperature this morning. It's a lot of this flu and stuff's going around right now. I think there's been more flu sightings than drone sightings. So,
Yeah, Corey's wife was sick too, and so was he about a week ago. I think they're just starting to get over it now.
Yeah.
I think it's the drone spraying stuff and causing
You know,
There you go.
like I said, don't give them no other theories because they'll jump on that one and run with it. They said, I told you they were spraying us with chemicals.
Yeah.
They're using on
It's,
farm
it's
drones
those
on us.
drone chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're using those farming drones to fly and spray chemicals and get us all sick.
They're spraying fluoride in the air.
Mm-hmm. That's what kind of got me. I didn't like I say, growing up where here in California, I'm assuming mostly everywhere has fluoride in the water and stuff. And come to find out, the state of New Jersey only has 19% of its drinking water that has been, has fluoride in it. I said, wow, I guess the dentist there must make a bunch of money.
Yeah, my dad worked for the waterworks, and basically I don't know why they put fluoride in there. There's something, I think it just strengthens it's good for your health.
Yeah, well, it's good for your teeth as a protective measure against cavities, and that's the reason why the government kind of authorized it, because it was the greater good for the majority of the population. And that's why we tell, we always think about the people. The old joke is the people in UK, they should have put fluoride in their water, but they never did. They talk about the dental difference.
We've always had fluoride in our water.
Then what is going on over there then?
We like sugary sweets too much.
I don't know. I always talk about you guys have something going on because it's a wide disparity.
I don't know. You guys have less sugar in your food than we do.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now we do, I suppose, but
yeah, because you guys have way more strict food rules than we do.
Yeah.
You guys aren't allowed to have like all the dyes and all that shit in the food.
Yeah. And you don't even have actual cookies. You call them biscuits.
Exactly.
I'm kind of curious to see if
we do have cookies as well, but they're just a different type of biscuit.
See, that's what I'm saying. Biscuits, I could say, how sweet can a biscuit be?
Yeah.
You can get those honey glazed ones at churches, but other than that, they kind of dry.
Or get some bowberries.
Yeah.
A lot of our biscuits are actually coated in a sugar. But there's always a lot of sugar goes into the baking when they make biscuits.
I'm kind of curious to see if JFK tries to get all that stuff banned, like the food.
They talking about he wants to take the fluoride out of the water. He wants to take a lot. He's already talking about all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, man, I can say, hold on to your butts, because it could potentially be a lot of changes.
Well, I mean, there's some of the dyes and stuff in our foods have been known to be cancer related.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm for it, I guess, if he wants to take it out.
Red number was a red number.
Number 9, I think it is.
Yeah. And that's been known for decades. One thing, if it's something that's been known, I ain't got no problem with. But like I say, some things that we put in, that we've done, like our vaccines, they're not all 100% perfect for everybody, but the mass majority, it has helped prevent and eradicate everyday diseases or childhood diseases. Because like I tell people, I said, when's the last time any of us, most of us in here are older, know somebody who had polio? When's the last time we had a massive outbreak of measles, smallpox?
Oh shit! The last guy with polio that used iron lung, he just died. A couple years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like in his 70s. I think he was still using the damn iron lung.
Yeah,
they actually had to have I remember because I watched a story on it, and there was like nobody that knew how to fix this thing, and they had to have like a couple engineers come in and figure out how to fix it and keep it maintained for the guy. Because nobody knew how they worked or like how to work on them because they were so outdated because nobody used them anymore.
Right. So I mean that I get the point that vaccines are not 100%, but you get to look at what's going to be best for the greater good of the majority of
Well,
people.
from what I've seen on his interviews, I don't think he wants to eradicate vaccines. I think he's trying to figure out which one, because
Yeah.
because if they went and looked at like what was it, the Food and Drug Administration on
Mhm.
the outbreak of pretty much kind of an outbreak of autism and ADHD and all this stuff that they're starting to diagnose everybody with.
Mhm.
And they're saying that there was a huge spike back in the mid 80s. And so I think he's just trying to figure out which vaccine may be causing that
Well, I'm
and
just looking
maybe
at the
tweak it. I don't know.
well, I'm just looking at the point that, like I said, it's not perfect for everybody, but I think it's more in the process of how whatever it is that's being continually made, because Paul's age, my age, Joe's age, Philip's age, we all got lined up in elementary school.
Yeah.
Just like we was all in the military. Line up, roll them
Yeah.
sleeves, everybody got a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about kids who were born throughout the 50s, 60s, heading into the 70s, all got lined up, but there was not a great number of us who suffer from ADHD, suffer from autism,
But
suffer from
that could be a tweak in the
that's
vaccines in the 80s though too.
that's what
You
I'm
know?
saying. That means the process has been changed.
Right.
And that's what I say. Are they sticking to the original formula that we all got growing up in the 60s and 70s?
True.
And was it altered as they continue to manufacture the vaccines? Was something altered? Was there a different method for the matter of whatever reason? Something has changed because we didn't have those same type of issues with our generation. Now, it could be a combination of the vaccines and the change of diet from those who were born in the 80s and going forward.
Some of it's the chemicals in the food we eat.
That's what I'm
Like-
talking about, change in diet, where
Yeah.
most of us grew up still with a lot more natural, homegrown fruits, vegetables, so on and so forth in our diets compared to all the processed food that is fed into our society today.
Well, and that's what I've always said. I think the way food is made today is kind of a double-edged sword, right? It's like it needs to be made, it almost has to be made like that to a certain extent because you have to transport it great distances. So it has to be able to have a shelf life to be
Yeah,
able
but
to
that's
provide.
because we don't have the farming system we once had.
Right. And then
Farms are pretty much centralized into mega farms, and then those are in isolated areas of the country where, like you say, back in the day, every state produced local produce,
something, yeah.
local
Yeah.
vegetables,
Yeah.
fresh fruit, fresh livestock. Your meats and stuff came within your own state for the most part. Now, like right now, you got Costco got this big old egg recall talking about salmonella, and it's covering about half a dozen southern western states. And you got to think, well, where is all this stuff coming from? And this what was about a week ago. We had the thing of the McDonald's thing of some facility here in Central California, and it's spread across the country. And you got to think, how come these guys are not getting onions from local farms within their own states or whatever to be part of their process? And as I said, we have these mega systems that are developing majority of our food stock.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think he's really like because I've heard some people try to like label him as kind of a conspiracy type person, but I think he's done a lot of research in it, and I think he's kind of passionate about it, and I'd like to see what his
Yeah, I mean, people
he'll do.
who look at him, who just look at him or who he is, say he is very smart. I mean, I've even heard a term where he is wicked smart. And like I say, his younger years of being an environmentalist lawyer and things like that, they said the man is very accomplished. He is very smart. Naturally, his education, puts the cherry on the top. But they say he has just been naturally smart all of his life. So that's what the key thing is. Where is his information coming from, or is it just his own thought process?
I mean, from the way I hear him speak on the few interviews I've watched of him, it seems like he's
It's like
talked
he's
to a
about
lot of experts and done
the
his
way
research. And
the way his voice sounds like he's about ready to kick the bucket with Biden.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does got a raspy voice.
Dude, he's like, oh, I'm like,
But
dude, what's up?
I think he generally has good in his heart though of what he's
Oh,
trying
I
to
never doubt
look
that.
at and
I don't
everything. So I'm curious to see what he comes up with because he seems pretty smart. Like he's very snappy, like when he's
yeah,
being
like
interviewed. So
yeah, nothing wrong with, like I say, his intellect is very high, but like I say, just because you may be highly accomplished, highly educated, don't make you the smartest person in the room still.
no. But I think that he's gone out and he's probably talked to the right people and because there's not always, you might have a mass amount of researchers that are
Mhm.
working for these corporations, but then you might have a lot that are, out there telling the truth because they're not about getting paid to just lie about it.
Yeah, well,
Maybe,
that's all we can all hope so that he does have this knowledge from other researchers, including himself, why he comes to conclusions. Because when I hear stories about the bear he hit and put in Central Park and other nonsense with the fish deal hooked to the top of the car, I'm like, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. I'm just like, you tell me the story of how you saved a wounded wing eagle and brought it back to life and all that kind of stuff. But don't tell me about you strapped a bear you put a bear in the back of the car and and dropped it off in Central Park.
Guys, I'm on cruise on. Y'all
All
have
right,
a great Christmas, and
we'll see you later.
y'all come back and see us, okay?
All
Hey,
right, we'll
Philip,
do, partner.
Take care.
All right, thanks, Paul.
See you, Philip.
We'll see
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, all,
Yeah.
and to all a good night.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I think his heart's in the right place. So I'm just curious to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, like I said, I never envisioned him or pictured him as a evil person, but just like people say that Oppenheimer can be considered evil. I never considered him evil. I don't think his intention of developing the hydrogen bomb was an evil act, but it was just a pursuit of technological knowledge. Now, the
Right.
application of that knowledge resulted in a lot of death and destruction. But I don't think his intention was to destroy two major cities in a foreign country, which is I attribute that to most of our researchers and scientists who dedicate their life to their disciplines or pursuits, as you may call it, for evil. I think they always have good intentions for the betterment of mankind, but it's how the application of that technology or whatever they find is the real question, which that always goes back to a political decision or a military decision. Just
Up,
like
Al.
right now, Ukraine talks about the reason why they took out that guy in Russia with the e-bike bomb because the guy had been using chemical gas on him. Which chemical gas has been illegal in warfare since the end of World War One.
I never understood that, how we gonna set parameters. You can use this weapon and fuck somebody up, but you're not allowed to use this one. It don't make any damn sense.
Yeah, like I said, the object of war is to decimate the enemy's will to fight, and why am I being limited on what devices I use to diminish that capability if they don't want to fight?
I never understood that.
Yeah.
Geneva Convention.
Yeah, that's all Geneva Convention stuff, dude. So like I say, that's what they felt about these guys, using chemical weapons against us. And there's been other accusations by other groups. Saddam Hussein, even the guy in Syria, was using some type of chemical bomb. They were using helicopters to drop these 55-gallon barrels to kill
I
off the
remember
population and stuff. So I'm like, people still do it in desperate measures. They still do it.
Dustin, what's up, man? What's up, Jody, Al?
Yeah, Al's
Dusty,
in.
Russell. Rob.
The thing that I
Joel,
don't understand,
Jim.
Dre, is how you can say you can use this kind of a piece of equipment to kill people, but you
Mhm.
can't use that kind of.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
The
It doesn't
end
make any
result is
damn
they
sense.
kill people.
Right. That's why I said the definition of war is to eliminate the other person's ability
Any way
to
you
fight.
can.
Any way
Yep.
you can. There is no, oh, you can only use one hand, another one's tied behind your back. That philosophy is what leads to stuff like, Korea, where we don't even call it a war, it's a police action.
Yeah.
Anytime you have actual combat or combatants, it's war. Because that individual on the ground is not there to say, play traffic cop. He's not to say pick out winners and losers. He's there to survive. And the only way to survive is to kill the other person.
Yep.
So I don't get it either, Paul. This is, like I say, this is just how we consider ourselves as the evolved species on this planet. And we put so-called rules and stuff. And then when somebody breaks the rules, we act all surprised.
And it's not like we haven't done it in the past
Right.
30 years neither. Look at the whole Guantanamo Bay prison.
Right. Like I said, we everybody bends the rules and say, well, that's not as bad. They play the blame game. Well, it's not as bad as so and so. They say, well, it's not as bad what you did back in 57. It was not bad what you did back in 23. I was like, hey.
Well, it's all these blanket pardons too. Just drive me crazy. It's like, the far socialists think that nobody should be locked up, no matter what you do.
Well, I guess now what he's doing,
the criminals.
what he's doing is those that were on death row at the federal prison level, he's commuting their sentence to only be life in prison. Because Biden doesn't believe in execution, so he said no one's going to be on death row; they'll only be life in prison.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's up to the states, so that's always been
no. Like I said, federal prison.
Oh, federal, yeah.
Federal. He can't say anything about guys in state prison, but federal prison, you still have that. So I mean, this is, like I said, this is beliefs, personal beliefs. But when your personal beliefs undermine the judicial system, like I said, you got to look at the greater good. I mean, like I say, now you have families who are being impacted again because of your decisions of what the outcome of this individual, and then there's always going to be a cost factor. There's a financial tag. Now, a person who's supposed to be executed will now continue to live out his natural life at the taxpayer's expense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these days they've been doing that, where it's like, especially the last few years, it's fuck the police for arresting them, but it's the criminals, the innocent one.
Well, I think a lot of this has to do with, because there's been reportings out of the White House that President Jill Biden is the one that's behind most of all this stuff.
Yeah, and like I say, to me, the pardon system is so abused.
Yep.
On all parties. Ain't nobody free of this on this. All parties. Like I say, a pardon is based from my education of the justice system and my involvement in it and everything else, that when someone is given a pardon is basically because there's been a miscarriage of justice.
Right.
That what they did might have been out of necessity or something else, but it was not a evil act in itself. That they might have been compelled to do something, or there was a misinterpretation of the law or something else that got them caught up in the system. Now we're handing out pardons because of political affiliation, good old boy networking, and whatever else personal beliefs. We're giving out pardons. And I said, that is not what the pardon system is supposed to be about. Not at all.
No, I'm all about a pardon for the fact that if I think somebody was to have a overly harsh sentence on something
Well, that's
a crime.
That's a abuse of the justice system. That's what I'm saying. It's somebody who's been wrongfully sentenced, whatever. Or you got caught with 2 joints in your pocket and they gave you 50 years in jail.
Yeah, that's
stuff like that. That's the abuse of the system. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Those what you use it for, because the system can be
Right.
abusive towards individuals. But I'm saying you just don't give somebody a pardon after they don't stole $20 million from unsuspected people in a scam deal because of what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
and some of these people only got like 7, 8 years, and they're getting full pardons.
Well, and then
You know,
look at like all these damn CEOs and shit on Wall Street during the 08 crash. Not one of them got fucking thrown in jail.
well, that's
Half
just
of them should have been.
and that's just my whole point. You know, so I mean, like I say, you look at the ones who are getting the pardons and say, why are you pardoning this individual when they have harmed people, intentionally harmed people, and was sentenced accordingly, and now you giving them a get out of jail free card? I said no, because you know these individuals are not going to return the money. That part of the deal has already been settled, so these people are never going to be made whole ever again. Just like the folks on the folks there, you know, been since the death row. I said those families who lost loved ones will never be made whole again.
Nope.
So now you're double impacting them by this individual who they might have felt we got a little closure, you know, and if you believe an eye for eye or not, you feel the system was justified in sentence him to life or whatever the execution. Now this individual gets to live out his life, even though it might be behind bars, he is still being able to live out his full natural life. To where you lost a loved one, and it is even worse when the loved one you lost might have been a child or something of that level. You know, just like the knucklehead in New York that set the lady on fire. You know, everybody wants to jump on the illegal immigrant side of things. I don't care where he came from, how he got here, whatever. I'm more interested that this guy never sees the light of day.
Well, I'm interested in that, but the root cause of the problem on that whole situation too was if they would have been enforcing the border like they should have been, the federal government should have been in the first place, that guy might have not have been over here to do that.
Right. And like I said, but I haven't heard when he crossed the first time. Because he's been back twice.
Right.
Yeah.
So and when I hear stuff like that, I say, oh, they're covering up something for somebody because they're not saying when this guy first came into the country. And evidently he got caught then and was sent back, and then he came back again.
Yeah, well, it was that easy to get back in. That's why.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean,
Yep.
ain't like he just walked down the sidewalk at the bridge at Juarez crossing and said, "Hey, I already been here once before. I'm good." You know. So evidently he found a way to illegally cross back in and knew he could probably hide amongst the millions of people in New York City
Yeah.
to be unnoticed, and then he commits this heinous crime. You know, setting
came
someone on
over-
fire. You know,
He came over and said, "I've been here before. I know my way."
yeah. Don't worry about it. I know where the exit's at.
Yeah,
You
there
know,
was, and then did you hear about when they were trying to? I guess Texas blocked the whole sell the border wall thing. They were able to do that, but there was some billionaire in Texas that said that if it goes up for auction, he's going to buy it all and then give it back to the state.
Yeah.
He said, "I'll buy it all." He goes, "I got tons of money." He goes, "I'll buy it all and I'll just give it back to him."
Yeah, I heard that too.
Like I said, when the wall, I was never a fan of it. The way it was presented was, as Mike Tyson would say, it was ludicrous. You know, like we were just talking the other day. You know, Joe and I was talking about if you really want to have border security, you have to make it a militarized zone.
Yep.
And you use the military type tactics to secure that border.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
Anything less than that, you're just pussyfooting around. You just basically trying to give something to make people who like you as an elected official put a smile on their face, and they think, oh, nobody's going to cross the border again.
I think the wall's a good physical border to jumpstart that off of, though. You know, and then you can put more cameras up.
Well,
you could even use drones, seismic meters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't. My thing is the wall. Like I said, there's plenty of countries on this planet that has never built a wall other than China. But there's a lot of other countries on this planet that have a very secure border. They ain't got to lick a wall up. And that's why you always
Israel did too.
Yeah, Israel put a little wall there, but I was cut for
Yeah.
security purposes. But I'm just saying that go try to cross the border, you know, in the Middle East somewhere. Go to Saudi Arabia and see what happened to you.
Hi, Dustin.
Go cross the border somewhere else and stuff, and you know, go cross the border into China and see what happened to you. I mean, other than the Great Wall, there's other places in China that has no wall. You know.
Right, I'm actually going to drop off now. I've got to go and do some visiting.
Okay.
Merry Christmas,
Let's make sure you don't drive.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Okay, Mark.
Later.
Hopefully, I'll see you later.
You remember Dre out at 29 Palms, the ammo dump out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you walked into the ammo dump, you had all the buildings went around like this.
Yeah.
But if you look to the side, there was this little white building. And it had a fence and it had lights. And we were told, don't go by that building. And we were military. Don't go over by the building. Because they had a couple of mounds out there that you didn't know about. That was just kind of sitting there. And you wondered why there was a mound there. But you couldn't see in the mound. Right? And I remember walking out there one time. We had an incident out there where they had a lieutenant that was brand new to the base. He was out there at night shooting kangaroo rats with a 22. Middle of the night by the ammo dump. Now you could shoot anywhere in the desert out there, but he accidentally got into the ammo dump area. And when he got into that ammo dump area and started shooting, it set off what that little white building was.
Right.
That was the nuclear response team. That nobody told you what it was.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it looked like daylight around that area. All them spotlights, right? And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning. And when I looked over at those mounds, it's gun turrets with people sitting in them.
You know how Joe figured that out? He stumbled in drunk in the ammo dump.
No, I can say I've been in the ammo dump. I was corporal of the guard.
Yeah, I was sergeant of the guard out there a couple of times.
Yeah, I had to be out there in the ammo dump, and I had my little shack about, I think it's about maybe 100 yards from the front gate, because there was a guy at the gate.
Yeah.
And my job there, you know, is make the rounds, checking all the other sentries and stuff. And I was out there near wintertime. It was freezing. I mean, I would walk.
The only time I went out there was wintertime.
Yeah. And like I said, I walked to that front shack because he had a heater in it, and we would both sit in that shack, man, just trying to keep our feet warm.
Yeah, I had to walk that and it's not flat land. You go uphill.
No, it's up and down the hill.
Yeah, you walk up the hill to the ammo dump, come around, and don't kick any. And in the middle of the night, there's no lights way up there in the ammo dumps. You're walking out there with the moonlight. And if you see a stick in the middle of the road, don't kick it. Probably an iguana lizard. I kicked one while I was talking to a guy who was walking, and it looked like I said, "Why they got? What's the stick doing here?" And I kicked it. It was an iguana lizard. It run up my leg, jumped off my shoulder onto him, and he was flipping out. I was flipping out. But that's the coldest I've ever been in my life, is out on that ammo dump.
Man, like I say, the desert can be very wicked, very extreme heat in the summertime, but very extreme cold at night in the wintertime.
But when those lights came on and I heard this mechanical sound. I looked up and I seen these just weapons come up. I went, "What the hell is that?" Because I'm walking up the hill. Yeah. And they said, "Do not cross." They had I don't know if they still have it, or they had it when you were there, but there was it wasn't a fence, but it was a wire that was maybe about a foot off the ground. It was, and you could see, you couldn't miss it. So you didn't accidentally walk over it. You knew it was there.
Yeah, you had to step over it.
And if you stepped over it, that was the dead zone. So they don't care who you are. If you're in that area and that they're on their response, guess what?
Yeah.
They're going to be calling your parents.
Yeah, and making that death notification.
Yeah, they would have been knocking on the door.
Yeah.
But that just took my breath away when it happened. It happened so fast. And it was like freaking daylight out there. I said, nope, get away from that side.
Still trying to figure out how you figured that out, Joe. Or Joe, I'm still trying to figure out how you figured that out. He's like, "I'm not a Russian spy, I swear."
I used to go out there because because as a sergeant of the guard, we had the 45. That's all we carried.
Mm-hmm.
We had the 45 out there. I had 2 or 3 magazines. I can't remember how many. But I used to have and this is when they let you do it. You can't do it anymore. I had a 22 caliber Benjamin Pump pellet rifle, pellet pistol. And I had the holster, and I used to strap it right in the front of me right here. And I'd go out there at nighttime when I was sergeant of guard and walk around out there, and I'd be shooting the kangaroo rats. And we could do that back then. They didn't care. But it was about 6-8 months later, before I left 29 Palms, we were sitting in somebody's car that used to work in the movie industry. He was a Marine, but he worked as a stunt guy at one of these wild ranch things where they went out there and they got shot like cowboys and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting in the car, and he was showing us the fake guns they used. And about 10 minutes later, we were surrounded by MPs.
Mm.
They were all over the place.
Wow.
But I could go out in the ammo dump and be brought out there with my 22 caliber and shoot out there. They didn't care.
Mm.
It was in my wall locker. What are you talking about?
You can't have your own personal guns on base.
No, you
Like,
can't.
like if you don't bring them out, but you can't have them like in your house. Like if you're in.
If you lived on base, you could have them in your house. But if you work on base, I don't know if you can carry them right now on base or not. But
I just know it was heavily frowned against. I don't know if it's actually legal, but I know pretty much they wouldn't let you, if you were living in the barracks, they would not allow you to have any weapons in the barracks.
Right.
I can understand the barracks, but I'm saying like if you were in a house, like.
Yeah, if you're in base housing, like I was there on 29 Palms, like I said, it's like a worker dwelling. You can have extra worker. The guy that lived downstairs from me, he used to make his own ammo, and I hear that ammo machine rattling all the damn time and stuff, making his own rounds and everything. So you can have weapons of your own, but I know they really frowned against it for the guys who live in the barracks.
Yeah, the barracks, you couldn't have them. You had to leave them at the armory. You had to check them in
because that's more communal living. So I could
that plus the barracks is more volatile than anywhere else. Somebody's coming drunk, somebody's getting pissed off. Next you know, you got gunfights.
Joe.
Yo.
So you was just shooting the kangaroos for no reason?
Kangaroo rats.
Man, I was young and I had target practice.
Not kangaroos, kangaroo rats.
Kangaroo rats.
They're just big ass rats. That look.
They about the size of the palm of your hand.
I was about to say we ain't got loose kangaroos running around in California that I know of, John.
He was stationed all the way over here.
He was stationed over in Australia.
Joe, I just made you host because I took the pills this morning and
I already know. Too much information.
Joe, that was when Joe was stationed in Australia, Jonathan.
I wish we had a Marine base in Australia, to tell you the truth, but be our luck, we'd be out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the country, not near anything.
Like Pine Gap?
Wherever. I just know Marine Corps is classed for putting bases in the middle of nowhere that nobody else wants to go.
Yep. I was in Okinawa and they were doing a mount to Australia, right? And they went through and they asked me if I wanted to go. I said, sure. I want to go see Australia. So I was sitting there about a week later and I was just sitting at the desk and they were getting ready to give us orders for all this stuff. And it was going to be a six month deployment. And I said, boy, I can't wait to go. I may not come back. They took me off of it. All because I said, I may not come back. My name was pulled off that thing quick. And I said, why? They said, because of what you said.
Wow. That you might get you in trouble.
I was playing. They said, you know how many people go and they lose them there?
That your mouth gets you in trouble.
Then my mouth got me in trouble there. Kind of glad. You know the funny part about it, how old's Dominic?
In the mid-50s.
Mid-50s. He's a little bit older than Tim.
Okay, I wouldn't have seen
a couple years older.
Yeah.
I'd say running to Dominic,
No, that's like Pine Gap. That's one of the joint military base in Australia. That's out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know,
even when you want to go to night, like Joe is in Hawaii, right? You're stationed there. Where was the
Yeah.
Marine base compared to the Air Force base, the Naval Yard, and the Army base? Where were the Marines
Kaneohe
at?
Bay.
Colony
Kaneohe
Bay.
Bay.
Now, compared to them other bases, what's the difference?
Well, yeah, that was the boonies.
That's what
Now,
I'm saying.
now I was lucky. I was in purchasing and contracting at the time, so I
Uh-huh.
was at Camp H.M. Smith, right in the middle of Honolulu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
But I
I
said the
cheated.
rest of it, you be out in the boonies, you be like, man, this sucks. This supposed to be Hawaii, and it sucks.
I looked down from when we lived in Aliamana Crater. You drove up and then we drove down into the crater. That's where the housing was. When you
Mm-hmm.
come up to the top of the rim of the crater, you look over, you see Aloha Stadium, you see Waikiki, the skyline.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see that every day.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
difference. And you see from the base, you stand out on the base, you look down, you can see Pearl Harbor, see all the ships in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
That was nice duty.
Yeah. Like I say, nice views, nice duty, nice weather, but not for the
Beautiful
regular,
women.
not for the regular folks. Mm-mm.
Yeah, everybody with the old threes and everything else over at K-Bay.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, my buddy in boot camp, Brian Goki, he from boot camp, he was at K-Bay.
mm-hmm.
I'm at Camp Smith, he's at K-Bay.
Yeah. I said, no.
What I did like about K-Bay side, that was more Hawaiian.
Mhm.
Because if you go over there to Hawaii Kai and all of those areas over there, the
Yeah.
housing was completely different. And it was, you walk out, instead of having like I don't want to say it, instead of walking out into a patio, you walked out into a little lanai in the back and you had all inside your house, you had all the plants going, you had the water going in the back. So it was all more Hawaiian style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
It was beautiful over there.
even down in the Lejeune area and stuff, it's like nobody wanted to live there, so they gave it to the Marine Corps.
You got a point.
Camp Geiger. I think New River was the only thing that was halfway decent.
Yeah, New River was nice. What's that other one down the street?
Cherry Point.
Is it Butler?
I'm not familiar with Butler.
It's not Butler. Butler's somewhere else.
I think Cherry Point.
Butler's in Okinawa.
Okay. I just know, I was at Geiger for infantry training school, and I was like, I feel like, man, the conditions here are worse than boot camp.
Oh yeah, it was. It really was.
And what really got me, Joe, I remember when I was there for infantry training school, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get my head around here because I showed up in the middle of the night, flying from the West Coast to the East Coast. I get there around midnight. And, I'm stumbling around, following the guy, dropped this off and stuff. So in the morning, I wake up, and I say, oh, yeah, get in line for chow. Dude, I thought I was transported back to 1944.
Yep.
The barracks were off the ground. The head was across the street. It wasn't even attached to the same building that you were in.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go take a piss or whatever, you had to go across the street. All this kind of stuff that I'm thinking that, dude, I just left MCRD a few weeks ago and the standards have dropped.
Yeah.
I understand it in boot camp, we was, having classrooms and Quonset huts and stuff like that. I said, I'm getting that, it's boot camp. Hope be a little rough around the edges. And then what got me when the 8th Marines came back from Beirut, I was like, holy crap. I said, they live right across the street from us.
Yep.
I said, that's a regular unit. That's a regular unit. These are real. I said, those are real.
And they live in this trash.
And they live in this trash. As I said, they live in this trash. I was like,
Yep.
I cannot believe this. I was like, oh my God. I was like, man, I gotta find somewhere else to go.
Yes, that's crazy places over there.
Yeah.
I thought Marines were built to live anywhere.
We are.
We were. That's why.
Don't mean we desire to.
That's why they put us that way. They wanted to tell us to be used to anything.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, for me, Jonathan, I grew up, my dad was, 20 years Air Force. So I grew up in Air Force housing most of my life until my dad got out in the early 70s. So I'm used to, really nice base housing, everything else. They had, we call rec centers for the kids and, bowling alleys, real nice ones and everything. Well,
Yeah.
in other words, it was even on par, if not even better than what civilians had, than what I was used to. I joined the military, I get in the Marine Corps. Like I said, I expect things to be a little bit rough, boot camp, all this kind of stuff, But when I expect to go to a regular military installation, I'm looking for them nice amenities that I grew up with.
Oh,
And it was
you looking for the things you had when you was a child, when your dad was going through all that
that's
madness.
right. That's right.
Now
And
you
I'm
see
like,
why they say you got to love your parents, boy, the things they do for you.
yeah. So I'm like, this ain't nothing like what I grew up in. I'm like, dude,
Well,
and
Dre,
29
when I
and 29 Palms wasn't not much better.
that wasn't
As
bad.
far as the barracks were everything was built in the 1940s, still used and stuff. And base housing was nice because it was all fairly newer base housing, been built in the last 20, 30 years and stuff. But yeah, it's just that's why I get a little uptight when I hear about government agencies or government elected officials want to take money from military families, because I know how it is, and this is the disparity it is in the different branches of the quality of life that they present for military families. And no matter what, if you think, oh, this is the Marines, this is the Army, the Navy, and all this kind of
It's
stuff,
not the same.
it's not the same. It is
Yeah,
not.
because the Air Force always gets crap for being like having the nice stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I would say the Navy's probably the second.
Navy doesn't do too bad in some stations. Some stations they get really nice stuff. Some places they don't. But like I said, it's just where they're located at. But like I say, the Army, they have their stuff. But the Marine Corps, like we get all the leftovers from the either the Army or hand-me-downs from the Navy.
When I got out of boot camp, it actually messed my orders up, sent me to Lejeune, and didn't realize I was supposed to be in school of music. So I sat at Lejeune for 2 weeks till they could fix it.
Right.
So then I just sat there basically and went up to Norfolk, Virginia, to School of Music. We had brand new, it was a Navy base, brand new BEQs, everything. Get up there, two people to a room. I mean, like
that's
a hotel.
Unheard of. That's unheard of in the Marine Corps.
It was like a hotel, right?
Yeah.
And then we go to the chow hall, walk in the chow hall, and I'm getting ready to go up to get food, and there's nowhere to go. And I looked at one of the guys and said, well, where do we go eat? He said, you go sit down. I said, what do you mean you go sit down?
Yeah.
You get a menu. Like, you
what?
Get what?
Yeah, what?
You get what?
See, that's
Did
Air
you get a
Force
menu?
stuff. That's Air Force stuff. Because I say, even to this day, if I go down to San Antonio, Texas, I got an uncle down there. My dad retired. We go into their chow hall, or what we call chow hall. They call it whatever they call it.
Oh, a restaurant.
I say it is like a restaurant. You go in, you sit at a table. Somebody come out with a menu, take your order, bring your drinks to you, whatever. You ain't getting up to do nothing.
Yeah, because that's what happened. I'm sitting on a Navy base, but the Air Force ran the chow hall.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and this girl comes up, and she's dressed like one of the cooks in the back, and she says, "Here's the menus for the day," like this.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, well, "Okay, somebody explain this to me. Explain it to me,
Right.
And they said, "Yeah, she's in the Air Force, but she works in the mess hall. So they come back and you tell them what you want, they bring it to you, and then you leave your shit there, and they take it off,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
just in Barstow alone, the area, you can see the difference in quality just of the two Marine bases like Fort Irwin. Fort Irwin is really nice. But then like the two Nebo and Yermo Marine base are just kind of really nothing special about them.
Yeah,
they got a playground.
I've been out to Yermo. I went to Yermo once as working for a guy out to Yermo, and I was like, yeah, nothing new for me here.
Yeah, it's nothing special about those two.
Yeah.
Well, technically they're the same Marine base, but they split it in two different sections.
Yeah,
part of it's in Yermo, part of it's in Barstow.
Right, and that's because the railroad cuts between them, doesn't it?
I believe so. And then
I know the line splits in Barstow, and goes along the 40, which is those two part. The base is actually off the 40 and not the 15 as some people think it is.
But like Fort Fort Irwin's really nice. So at least last time I was there, it was.
Yeah, Fort Irwin was a little nice, but it's just so far back off the main
Yeah,
road,
it's
man.
about
It's
20
like,
miles. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That road
But-
is super dangerous too. Fort Irwin Road.
Is it?
Drive down that road and look how many crosses are on the side of that road.
I know
Insane amount.
I had a nephew who was in the Army. He was stationed out there. Well, he was stationed there, but he had to do two deployments in Iraq. So that was his home base, but he was overseas in Iraq for 2 tours and stuff. And he was
Like,
making that drive from Victorville. I said, dude, why you living way in Victorville for?
Like, I'm not even joking, dude. You drive down that road, you'll probably see a few thousand crosses down that road of how many people have died in car wrecks.
Yeah,
And what's crazy is you can see for 10 miles down that road perfectly clear.
That's just drunk driving, dude, mostly.
It's that and speeding and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, all combination of all of it. I mean, like I said, it's a pretty much a flat, straight line, but you see all these folks crashing.
Yep.
You know, anything from fatigue driving to DUI driving and whatever else, and speed.
And then there's been people have been hit by tanks because they have tank crossings on that road.
Oh wow!
They're speeding down the road, and here comes a fucking tank. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had to respond to Fort Irwin Road all the time. I mean, that was so common.
Ooh.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. For I don't know how long, but I'm back.
Okay.
I have chronic constipation and I have to take medication.
Okay.
And when the
Gross.
medication hits, it's now, you know.
I understand. I fully understand.
It's Boston cream. Plug it up.
Yeah.
What happens when you eat like a
funny thing
16-year-old?
is after I flew that ship this morning, Joe, I went by Tim Hortons and I figured, oh great, I'm the only one here. They're closed.
Yay, there is a God. There is a God. He's protecting you today.
Don't feel bad.
I thought to myself, I wonder if Captain Joe had something to do with this.
Don't feel bad. I did the same thing, trying to call myself being good, going to the gym. I pull up there and I'm like, am I here early? And I sat there for a good 5 minutes looking through my phone and stuff. And I see a couple of cars pull up by the front door and pull away. And I'm like, let me see where everybody was reading. It says, oh, well, holiday hours today won't open to 8 a.m. I'm sitting there at 5 a.m.
Paul, just eat some of them baked beans you had. That'll work.
Yeah, but the beans will work.
The beans will work. You don't need all the donuts. At least you'll be standing up like that guy with that walker.
That cracks me up, that video. Yeah. In fact, I think that's one of Jonathan's favorite videos.
Yeah, son still don't like it though.
Yeah, Brenda didn't like it.
She was a little bit offended.
Yeah, I think so.
That just tells me she's such a lady then.
What video was that?
What's that?
What video are you talking about?
The constipation video where the old guy's walking around with a walker.
How you figure that's one of my favorite videos?
Yeah.
No,
You sent it to me.
did not.
I'm sure of it.
Must have been the other Jonathan, the one that's getting married.
No.
Jonathan, are you telling everybody you're getting married?
I don't know what you're talking about, boy.
Well, is it Pink or Pinky? Is she coming
Pinky,
over today?
Hey.
No, we're not friends no more. Paul did that.
We mean not friends no more.
Yeah. Cause Paul kept screaming, get married, get married, get married, get married. He got on the nerves, you don't come around no more.
Oh, she don't come around no more. Oh, no. Well, I have to send my condolences.
Well, he saved you a hardship later. There you go.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
I think she'll come
Here's the
around.
thing about me, right? I was born by myself, so life is supposed to be so the way I see it.
So you are the only one you need.
Yep.
Did you reset that?
Me and my animals.
Okay.
As long as I got my animals.
Now you got
Right.
cats, right?
Yep. I got cats. I got the possum that lives in the tree. I got dogs next door. I got squirrels that dare not come down in my yard because they become a meal.
Did
I got-
your neighbor ever show up to get that drone from you?
Yep, he showed up last night.
Mm.
I got 2 owls in the trees.
So is he complaining now that the Neil's trash?
I don't know. Well, it's not for him, it's for his daughter. So she gonna love it regardless. And the good thing about that is if they mess it up, it's under my insurance, so I can just go get it fixed for him.
Mm-hmm.
Since he finally gets it right.
Yeah. All righty.
But yeah, I'm actually waiting to see them outside. In fact, he told me as soon as they open that, they're gonna be at your door, right? I was like, yeah. So
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go show little mama how to fly her drone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I say you can use this as getting some good drone shooting drones footage.
Nah, she's only 9, so I mean.
That's what I'm saying. That's the best way. She ain't gonna fly too fast, too far.
Everything about that is gonna be a learning experience for her, just like it was when we bought our first drone. So
that's what I'm saying. You just say,
Dre's
hey,
still learning.
Yeah.
I mean, from what Matt tells me.
Yeah. They finally let Matt into his own premiere.
Okay.
It said you not on the guest list, buddy.
Yeah,
that'll probably when you mean I get credits? Yeah, ain't on the guest list still.
That'll probably be my Christmas for this year. Little mama learn her drone and go eat some pie and some good food.
I heard
Get
that.
on Fortnite. Shoot up some animated people.
Paul, was that a whole pie you just set down in front of you?
Yep.
Yes.
We wonder why he's constipated.
I tell you, man.
I tell you, at his age, he eats like a fucking 16-year-old.
You get abused from one end to the other end.
Paul, you drink coffee?
No, he doesn't like coffee.
Yeah,
he's like me. We don't drink coffee.
Give Paul a 16-ounce cup of coffee, all that gonna come flooding up out of him.
Oh, gross.
People who don't drink coffee, they get constipated, you give them a cup of coffee. And it'll run through them like castor oil.
I just threw some peanuts out. The thing of it is that I took to heart Joe telling me that I need to eat more vegetables.
Right.
So
yeah, eating them and putting them down at disposal, different thing.
Yeah.
His body's rejecting it.
There you go, Joe.
That's what I'm saying.
Pumpkin pie.
It's what type of vegetables he's trying to process.
If they're green, they're good. Not
Pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told me to get, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Paul, you do not want me on Christmas Day to show you the finger.
Pumpkin pie.
Well, on that note, gentlemen, I'm gonna say good day. I may come back on
wait.
later on.
Wait. Yeah, that was my first thought when I first got on, Dre. I like your December 25th Christmas outfit there. That's I said, we ain't got no suit on today. He just got on a gray sweatshirt.
Like I said, I've been on vacation this week, so I had on a sweatshirt yesterday and got this little long sleeve pullover T-shirt today.
Well, Joe dressed just for Dre today.
I know, I saw that. That's why I had to come on. I said, well, I ain't gonna leave Joe hanging. You know, he went through all that effort.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. When I first turned it on, I thought maybe your Grinch sweater came in. I said no.
It's in Spain.
I said no. He got on something little more expensive. He got a little silky shirt on there with a little tie.
Yeah, that's a little silky thing.
Make you want to touch yourself.
Yeah, I don't need a woman. The medication I got, I don't need a woman. I got my own boobs.
All right, gentlemen. Because I know this afternoon I'll be watching.
For being here.
I'll be watching some of these
later
games.
on, huh?
All right, you guys take care.
Okay.
Later, Dre.
Later.
Oh, buddy.
So Sarah says that she does all the cooking.
Sarah does usually do all the holiday cooking. She likes to do it, so.
So you let her. So that's
she wants to do
part
it.
of
So
you being a good husband is you let her do all the cooking.
Well, she likes to do it. She likes to do all the planning and all that. So I just don't mess with it. I just stay out of the way.
There you go.
Well, that's probably not a bad idea.
That's how it works, Paul. When you got a woman in the kitchen cooking, if
Stay
you
the fuck out
breeze
of the
through
way.
there and look anything too hard, then get out.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're a good boy, she'll bring you little samples to try out.
Right.
Does she give you the what do you think of this type of thing?
Yeah, she brings me little spoon samples of different stuff throughout the
How
day.
does this taste?
Yep, exactly.
I'll be like, you're missing a little bit of cinnamon. Put some more in there.
I'm not going to risk my samples, my free samples.
Those were the days. I remember those days. I remember those days. Merry Christmas, everybody in the chat. I'm sorry, but most of the time y'all talking, I had to jump in the water. That's why I didn't speak. I was in the shower. I'm out there.
Did the kids get everything they were looking for Christmas, Justin?
Oh, yeah. I got all their stuff.
Anybody get a drone?
Nah.
What?
I got Kelsey and Thomas got new Nintendo Switches as they play the crap out of those. Kelsey got a new cell phone, new Beats headphones.
So it was heavy in electronics, but it wasn't heavy in drone electronics.
No. None of them wanted a drone.
Yeah, you talked at one time about giving was it Thomas or somebody one of the drones, and he turned his nose up to it.
No, they flew them back in the day when I had them, but they're just not interested in them. What's up, Matt? Matt's in the chat.
Hey, Matt.
Oh, he's in there giving Jim shit in the chat. Oh, you missed your apprentice a minute ago, Matt. Who's in here?
What's up, Matty?
Dre said he's been taking all
Merry
your
Christmas,
classes.
Matt. Yeah, I want to go flying sometime today, but we're supposed to have thunderstorms in about an hour.
Oh, really?
Dude, today's going to be the day to go because there ain't maybe nobody out today, especially driving.
Well, yeah, you know what I noticed when I went and did that ship this morning? You know how that Blue Water Bridge over top of before here into Canada? There wasn't a truck or a car on it for like 10 minutes. Just empty.
Yeah, like I said, if there's any place you guys want to fly today, today's the day to do it. Because there ain't going to be nobody there. Like if it's a school or something that you've been wanting to fly, the playground or something like that, today's the day to do it. Because there's no traffic, going to be any traffic out. But you're going to guarantee that most places are going to be closed. Like, it's always trippy driving by a Walmart there on Christmas Day and seeing the empty parking lot. Because those parking lots are always full of cars.
What do you think the stores are busy today, or are they
They're-
open or not open?
The only ones that are open in my area are the dollar stores, but they're only open till like 12, I think.
Yeah, they
So
open
just
half
like
a
a
day, I
half
think.
day or something?
The gas stations are the only ones that stay open all day.
Yeah, everything's shut down around here. I went to my nephew's girlfriend, the baby mama of Robbie. She worked at the Dollar Tree, and she was going to be a manager, and she was over at the one on Pinnacle. That's a bigger store, and they moved her over there to become a manager, the store manager, and that store ran beautiful when she was there. And she got into it. One of the employees did something, sent him home, did something. An employee complained, and they fired her because of it. And I went in that store yesterday. You couldn't even get to the merchandise because there were the racks that pull all the merchandise out, blocking half of every aisle, because every aisle had half of every aisle blocked with
What's up,
freight they
David?
couldn't put out. You had this much
And,
room. I had to walk sideways through the aisles. Every aisle had nothing but racks of stuff they couldn't unbox. And they had one person running the register and 4 people walking around, and the lines were all the way into the back.
Okay.
I took pictures of all of that. I took pictures of all the store, and I sent them to an email to the stores last night, to the regional area, tell them how bad their store looked. Like that.
all the
That's
dollar
that's
stores look like that.
ridiculous.
They actually did a news story a couple weeks ago on the dollar stores about how they all look like that now.
Well, it's
Because
over there
there's-
too, because the one here in Mandeville, they keep their merchandise in the back. That's what they do. And it's the shelves are empty, but at least it's not crowded like that.
But see, that's the news story that they did on the dollar stores about how their quality control has gone down, like way downhill, and how they all are cluttered and overstocked. And another thing is they can't keep employees because they don't pay shit. Like they're like the dollar stores here, they only start you off at like 11 or 12 an hour. Where Walmart and everybody else, it's like minimum 15 now. They just don't pay anything. And so they can't keep people, dude. They can't even keep store managers. Every other week, there's a different store manager in the store near us.
Yeah.
They can't keep them.
Well, what is it in? Excuse me, my mind, but isn't there some kind of a chain that's in the middle of having a strike or something? Or
Amazon, I believe. Amazon's got a strike going.
Yeah,
And
Amazon does.
they put a statement out the other day saying deliveries would not be disrupted because of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, Starbucks also some of them went on
Starbucks,
strike.
yeah, Starbucks.
But I don't go there anyway.
Well, the one thing I remember was Starbucks. I've probably in a lifetime only been there once or twice. Everything is like 25 to 50% more expensive there.
Not really. Everybody always says that about Starbucks. Starbucks is not that expensive. And Starbucks, they do plenty of business because every time you drive by them, their fucking lines are backed up. So, I mean, they are making money. I've been to Starbucks tons of times. It's not overly expensive. They just get a bad rep because they're a big chain, just like other big chains do. Tom Hortons keeps growing. Eventually, they're gonna get looked at the same way as every other company.
You mean Tim Hortons?
Or Tim Hortons, yeah.
Would you say Greg Hortons?
No, I'm saying if
That's his
Tim
brother.
Hortons becomes like super worldwide and you start seeing them in every US state and they become that big, they'll get the same crap as everybody else. Once companies get to a certain size, dude, everybody always has something negative to say about them. Like, honestly, Starbucks isn't any more expensive than going to Dunkin's or Krispy Kremes or anything else to get coffees or anything.
Did they start out more expensive?
No, the thing with Starbucks is you can customize your drink so much that, yeah, somebody can go in there and get a drink that would normally be $5, but then they add a bunch of shit to it, and now it becomes a $12 drink. So it all comes down to what the consumer's willing to spend. They're spending $12 on a coffee. That's on them at the end of the day.
Yeah, they must have the money for it.
All right, I'm gonna go eat breakfast. I will catch y'all later.
Okay, everybody. Hey,
We're gonna pack it in.
I think we're gonna pack it in, right?
Yeah, let's pack it in.
I'll see you
Okay,
later.
everybody. Hey, thanks for being here.
Merry Christmas,
Joe,
guys.
Joe, you're the guy.
I'm the guy. I get to say pack it in again. Huh?
Yep.
Man, I got all this power the last couple of days.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what to do with it. Look at one visual just show. Oh, he's been here. I didn't see him. Merry Christmas, everybody. Tell Laura to
everybody.
shut up there, David, please. And we'll see y'all later.
And I'm gonna be in and out of the bathroom all day. So.
Oh, too much information.